Kindly subscribe for more amazing content.
Investing in farming is one of the most lucrative businesses you can actually do in Africa, especially in Ghana. A lot of professors, doctors that we know actually engage in farming. All right, I've worked with a professor who has a very big farm, which is around 140 acres of land. That is huge, right? So it is actually good you engage in farming as a side hustle or as a business in Ghana and you will be successful. But one thing I actually understand is that if you don't have the knowledge, you are bound to fail. That is why in all my videos, I'll always encourage that you actually do your due diligence. You need to do a list of things to be able to start a successful farm. Whether it's a tomato farm, whether it's a crop farm, whether it's a cereal farm, there are these steps you need to follow to make sure you have a good farm at the end. So the first on my list is to do your research work. Right. That is the most important. Okay. You need to do your research work. The research work should be able to tell you the place where exactly you need to do the farming. It should tell you the season, the time, which particular month you're supposed to do the farming. It will also give you the market, uh, the demand in the market. You need to know whether there's high demand for the particular crop you're about to do or not. If there are no demands and the crop will not last before it gets spoiled, then you need to think twice. Okay, once you do your research work, you need to do it diligently and properly. Some crops are annual, some are seasonal, some are yearly or especially the tree crop plants like cashew, it can take up to 5 to 6 years before you can actually get something out of these things. So you really need to do your research work very properly, diligently, right? Now that you have your research work done, I know by the end of your research work, you should have been able to one understand where you're supposed to do the farming. You need to understand the months in which you're supposed to do the farming. You need to understand the financial situations, right? So, two, now that you have all this knowledge, the second thing you need to do is to actually look for a farmland, right? Look for where you want to do your farmland and start preparing the farmland for your particular crop. Right. Now, preparing your farm, now you need to know whether the soil type is good for the farming or not. Your soil type, the particular crop you want to do with the soil type, does it match? Is it okay? You need to know all these things. Once you are able to tell the soil type, now you need the seed. You need to know where you can get the seed. You need to know whether if it is seedling, where you can get them to plant. Right. Now, when you're done with planting, you need to know, have full knowledge on the process of farming. How many days will the crop take to get matured? What activities you need to embark on to get the crop ready for harvest? You need fertilizers, you need insecticides, you need to consider all these things, right, in the farming process. Now that you're done with the farm, the next thing you look at is harvesting. Harvesting. Is your farm too large? Then you will need a combined harvester. Is it small that you can get a few people to harvest? Can you do it on yourself? You need to look at all these things. You need to look at the availability of workers for your farm. Because sometimes you engage in activities, you have the money, all right, but you're not getting people to actually work on your farm. So for that reason, you need to be sure that you have people who are ready to work so that when you need them, you can actually get them, right? After harvesting, then you now need storage. You need a place to store your commodities, right? You need a place to store your harvested crops or cereals. When you store, you then have to do the marketing. You need to start selling your products to get the capital back. Mostly in crop production, what happens is that within the first 2 months of harvest, prices are normally not so good. This is just because there are a lot of people harvesting at that moment, and there is a lot of the commodity in the market. Once it gets to 2 to 3 months, that people have actually bought a lot of these commodities home and have started using them, prices begin to appreciate. So I would always entreat that if you're doing farming and you cannot harvest and sell immediately, you have to harvest, keep it for some time, 3 4 months before you sell, and you can make good profits on that. I hope this tutorial, or I hope this video was really helpful, and you'll be able to take one or two from it. One of the most important thing is to do the research work. The research work actually entails everything you need to do on the farm even before you get to the farmland. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you on the other side. Peace out.